ladies and gentlemen? My name is Ryan Awesome. And welcome to the Ryan Awesome Show. Now, today on the Ryan Awesome Show, I'll be talking about Impact Wrestling for March 23rd, 2021. Now, overall, man, this is a good show. This is a good show. I love the X Division Championship match with Ace Austin and TJP. I thought that was a great match. I love the main event was good too. The Kenny Omega segment, Kenny Omega coming out and speaking. I thought that was really cool too. Seeing Kenny Omega show up on Impact, and the Sami Callihan and the Trey Miguel feud. I love that stuff too. But yeah, man, yeah, it was a good show. It wasn't a perfect show. I did question some things on this show, but you know, that's all. That's all I have to say about it. And so yeah, if you haven't done this already, man, hit the thumbs up, man. Hit the thumbs up. And if you're new here, hit that subscribe button. And right next to that subscribe button, there's a bell. Make sure you click on that bell so you'll be the first ones to know when my next video will come out. Because I'm here each and every single week. I'm here. So make sure you subscribe to the channel and make sure you turn on that bell so you don't miss out. And so yeah, so this is the Impact Wrestling review on the Ryan Awesome Show for March 23rd, 2021. And yeah, we started off the show with a women's match. And it was Deonna Purrazzo, the virtuosa Deonna Purrazzo, who is the Impact Knockouts champion, with Susan in her corner versus Jazz with Jordynne Grace in her corner. So, oh yeah, with Deonna Purrazzo, we had Susan just came out, no Kimberly. They mentioned it on commentary that she got hurt in that 12-person tag match. And so yeah, so Kimberly, she wasn't there. Now this match was crazy, man. It really was. The ending was just crazy. And so yeah, but I'm gonna get into it. But yeah, yeah, they were going back and forth with technician moves. And then at one point we had Jazz. She hit her jabs to Purrazzo. And then Purrazzo, she hit a pump kick on Jazz. And then she followed up with a short arm clothesline. And then Jazz, she had kicked out. And then, Jazz, she was trying to fight back. Well, she was fighting back with clotheslines. And she hit a spinning kick on Purrazzo. And then, yeah, Deonna Purrazzo, she locked in her Fujiwara armbar. And then Jazz, she had got out of it. She had moved out of it. Or fought out of it, rather. And then Jazz, she had to hit a sit-out facebuster. A sit-out facebuster to Purrazzo. She kicked out. No, 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 she didn't. So, yeah, first off, yeah, Purrazzo, she was near the ropes. And so Jazz, she hooked the inside leg instead of the outside leg, the leg that was close to the rope. And so, yeah, so Susan, who was on the outside of the ring, she had grabbed Purrazzo's foot, her other leg, and just put it on the rope. And so right after that, we had Jordynne Grace. She had went right after Susan. And so Susan, she had sidestepped Jordynne Grace. And so Jordynne Grace, she had ran into the ring post. And so, yeah, and then at one point, to end the match, we had Susan, she had took off her shoe, because Jazz, she had saw what she did to Jordynne Grace. She tried to go after Susan. And so Susan had ended up hitting Jazz with her shoe, behind the referee back, so the referee didn't see it. And so Purrazzo, she had rolled up Jazz for the 1, 2, 3, and that was it. So Deonna Purrazzo, she had won the match. Now, I was confused about this. I don't even know why this match happened. Like, I didn't know why the match happened. You know, yes, it should have been a championship match. You should have just saved this match for a championship match because Jazz, she's been looking good lately. She beat Kimberly. She been winning a lot lately. And so with this match, they should have just saved it. They should have just saved it. Like we know it's gonna be a championship match. So why? But why do we need this match if we know it's gonna be a championship match at the end of the day? And then she got screwed over. She got screwed over in the end. And so she's gonna Jazz, she's gonna complain to management that Deonna Purrazzo screwed me over and stuff like that. And so it's gonna turn into a championship match. And so yeah, I wouldn't have booked this match. I would have put something else in place of it, to replace the match. But yeah, that was it with that. And so yeah, right after that, we had a backstage segment. It was the Good Brothers. That's Doc Gallows and Karl Anderson. And so this is what they had to say. They were at first they were disappointed about their loss to Finjuice. And so this is what they had to say about it.
You know, that's the thing. It's Good Brother style, right? We're stumbling down the ramp per usual because we had too many drinks last night, right? You know, same old Good Brother stuff, right? We got our titles. We're walking around. Everyone's laughing, bopping. You know, the usual. The usual. That's the day. Gallows pulled out the title. I'm doing the swing. I'm doing the gimmick, and then the opposites was everybody. Oh, look who it is.
Eddie Edwards
Look
interrupts.
who it is, the Good Brothers. Yeah. What are you guys doing over here? A couple weeks ago, you guys are too big and too cool, too good brothers to be changing with everybody else. But now you lose those titles, and here you are, trying to change with the boys. You guys ain't the boys. You're the good brothers. You guys ain't welcome here. Whoa, take it down the road. Whoa, we can do whatever we want. Take it down the road. We can do whatever we want. Hey. Cool off. Don and Kenny are here. Let's go hang out in the cool kid corner. We don't want to dress in here anyway. Listen to your boy. Let's go. We're just about to leave anyway. Sure. Just about to get out of here.
And they ran into the K. The Good Brothers did.
Where do we begin? Where do we begin? First, your shiny belts flew off to Japan, and now your popularity with the locker room appears to have decayed. Go see if Don and Kenny will let you play, boy.
And that was it with that. And so yeah, right after that we had the Swingers Palace. And so yeah, they were promoting the Swingers Palace, and this is what happened.
Thrills, chills, pizzills. Hi, I'm white meat babyface Johnny Swinger. In the last couple of months, I've inherited a large sum of kizash. But instead of blowing it, following Pat Benatar on tour, I've decided to open my very own illegal underground casino, Daddy. Swingers Palace.
So at other casinos, when they notice
Alicia
that
Edwards.
you haven't slept for 96 hours, they cut you off. But at Swingers Palace, you keep the cash flowing, and they keep dealing the cards.
Ooh la la.
I mean, I may have recently lost my job, but so
Out
what?
of work, security guard.
Once I hit it big at Swingers Palace blackjack tables, show that big shot brother of mine, I'm not the black sheep of the family.
I was shot at my own wedding.
Johnny
I
Papa.
must have died and gone to heaven, because I couldn't be happier being the dealer here at Swingers Palace. Is that what you wanted?
As you can see, my investment has paid off for me, and it can for you too. Try your luck at Swingers Palace.
And that was it. So yeah, they were promoting their place, the Swingers Palace, and that was it. You know, at first I wasn't a fan of the Swingers Palace. I thought it was goofy and stuff like that, but it's starting to grow on me though. It really is. And so right after this, we had a backstage segment with Rohit Raju. And so this is what Rohit Raju had to say.
It's good to be Rohit. Such a savvy style that can't be beat. Look at, there's two of me, looking good on both sides. Yeah, I absolutely love. What is this? Is that you, Fallah? Trying to sleep. Sure. What are you doing? What is all this? What are you doing? Why are you sleeping? Are you sleeping in the studio?
I've hit a rough patch.
A rough patch?
Yeah.
A rough patch, right? Oh, okay. No. I watch Swingers Palace every single week. You have lost all your money. You're a bum gambler. You're a victim to the gambling monster gambler. Look at you. Oh, God, you're an offense to all my senses. You look bad. You smell bad. Your smell is so loud and I can even taste it. This isn't a rough patch. Your entire life is a rough patch. Get yourself together, man. You should be embarrassed.
Hey. Yeah, I might be hitting a rough patch, But one thing's for certain. Me putting my fist down your damn throat. Want to talk? I'll see you later.
And that was it. So, yeah, so it was Fallah, Bahh, and Rohit Raju. They got into it backstage. And so it was made into a match later on tonight. And so, yeah, right after this, we had another match. It was for the X Division Championship, which was one of the best matches on the show for me. And so, yeah, it was TJP versus Ace Austin, the X Division Champion, with Madman Fulton in his corner. And so, yeah, at first, they were going back and forth with, they were reversing each other moves. And we had a drop kick to Austin. And we had a springboard enziguri kick to TJP. And we had a top rope crossbody out of the ring to Austin. And then at one point we had TJP. He tried to superplex Austin. But Austin, TJP, he turned the superplex into the gourd buster. So it was a gourd buster. And so we went to commercial break. We came back from commercial break. We had a single leg Boston Crab to TJP, the submission move. And then TJP fought out of the submission move. And then they were going back and forth with submission moves. And we had a roll up to Austin. He kicked out. And then he had a clothesline to TJP. And then at one point we had a corner knee strike to Austin. And he followed that up with a corner boot. TJP did. He followed that move up with a corner boot to Austin. And then TJP tried to go for his detonation kick. But Austin, he had reversed it. And then he turned it into a corner enziguri kick to TJP in a corner. And so, yeah, right after that, he had a spinning diving leg drop to TJP. And TJP, he kicked out. And then TJP, he locked in his octopus stretch submission move. And then, Fulton, he was outside the ring. He was pushing a rope towards Austin so Austin can grab the rope. But Austin, he couldn't reach the ropes. And so, yeah, they were on their backs and stuff like that. And so Fulton, from outside, he had grabbed, not TJP, he grabbed Austin's leg and then just put it under the rope. And so that's a rope break. And so, yeah, TJP, he saw it. And so he gave Fulton a springboard drop kick. So he took out Fulton. And then, yeah, TJP tried to go for the Mamba splash. But Austin, he gets his knees up. And then Austin, he had rolled up TJP. TJP, he had kicked out. And then at one point, they hit each other with double clothesline, so they're both knocked out. And so, yeah, they were going back and forth. We had a double stomp to TJP. And so Austin, he tried to go for his finishing move, that blockbuster. He called it the fold. But TJP, he reversed it and turned it into the detonation kick. So he hit the detonation kick to Austin. And then he followed it up with a Mamba splash to Austin. So TJP, he went for the cover. He almost beat him too. He almost did. So the referee was counting 1, 2, and then Fulton at the last second he had interfered. He had caused TJP to win, and so Fulton, he attacked TJP. So it was a disqualification. So Ace Austin, TJP, he had won by disqualification. So Ace Austin is still the X Division champion. And so, yeah, Fulton, he attacked TJP. He gave him a huge choke slam. He lifted this dude up in the air so high, man. Like wow, man. Like it was a huge choke slam. And so yeah, Fulton and Austin, they were double teaming TJP. And then you had Josh Alexander, he had came out with a chair. And so he had chased off he chased off Ace Austin and Madman Fulton. And so yeah, that was it with the match. Great match, probably the best match on the show for me. Great back and forth between these two. Both great athletes. They know each other really well. So that's why, it was a great match. And so, yeah, going into this match, I knew this match was going to be a screwy finish and everything. Because, I don't know what it was. It was going to end up in a screwy finish. It just felt like that to me. I don't know what it was, but it just felt like that to me, that it was going to end in a screwy finish. And so, we're going to get a rematch out of this. We're going to get a rematch out of this because, TJP is going to complain about it. He's going to complain about it to Scott D'Amore about, him getting screwed over. Because he almost beat Ace Austin. He almost beat him. So we might have another rematch. But next week they had booked the tag team match with Austin and Fulton versus TJP and Josh Alexander. And so yeah, man, that was it with the match. And so yeah, right after this, we had an interview from Gia Miller. She interviewed Matt Cardona, always ready, Matt Cardona. And so this is what Mr. Cardona had to say.
Matt, thank you so much for sitting down with
Thanks
me.
for having me.
It's been a few months since you showed up here at Hard to Kill. A lot has happened in those few months. Can you tell me, what are your initial thoughts of being here at Impact Wrestling?
I mean, I love it here. The only thing I ever wanted to do with my life was be a pro wrestler, and I feel like here at Impact, it's the ultimate opportunity, and the handcuffs are off, and I see guys like Moose and Eddie Edwards and Sami Callihan. It's like Christmas morning, and I see these presents, and I can't wait to open them or wrestle these guys, and I'm very excited.
You were at the forefront of using social media to help promote yourself.
Internet champ.
Absolutely. And you've consistently done so over the years. How have you been able to stay on top of that game?
I'm still here, I say that, not just Impact or any other company. I mean this business, and you got to be always ready, right? It's a cute little hashtag. It's in my entrance music. It's on my merch, but it's the way I live my life. And, you got to be hungry. You got to want it. You got to love this business. You can't just love it when things are great, right? We all want to be undefeated, be the champion all year long, but that's not reality. You got to love it when you hit rock bottom, when you're at the absolute bottom. And then when you get to the top, when you get that opportunity, when you're always ready, when you capitalize on it, it's that much sweeter.
So, and speaking of social media, we've seen some exchanges with you and a certain someone. You have a podcast with him.
Yeah, move Brian.
Yes.
Brian
He
Myers.
had a lot to say about you, mentioning that you rode his coattails and followed him here to Impact Wrestling. What is your response to that?
It's just a coincidence, right? Like, he's my best friend. And when he signed here, I was very happy for him, right? A couple of months later, I signed here too. It's a coincidence. That's it. I'm not following him. I'm not, obsessed with him. I don't know what he's talking about. We're here for the same reason, right? Opportunity. Impact is the land of opportunity. There's no glass ceiling, but there's no safety net. It's put up or shut up. And like you said, everyone knows our history, right? I mean, he's been my best friend since we were 18. We got the podcast. We got a whole podcast network, right? But I'm not here for Brian. I'm not here to team with him. We've been tag team champions before. We've won tag team titles in high school gyms, jam-packed stadiums, right? I'm not here for that. Been there, done that. And I'm not here to fight him. I didn't come here to fight him. I don't want to fight him, but he just won't shut up. He won't stop running his mouth and running his mouth and running his mouth. And Brian, it's time to put up or shut up. Okay, I know you're watching this, right? Loud and clear, listen up. You want a match? Fine. Here's the challenge. Always ready, Matt Cardona. Bad mood, Brian Myers. The Major Brothers, we explode. And when the match is over, win, lose, or draw, we're done.
So yeah, that was it. That was it with Matt Cardona. That's what he had to say. And so yeah, so we're gonna get Matt Cardona versus Brian Myers. When the match will be? Maybe at that Hardcore Justice pay-per-view, or maybe at Rebellion. I don't know, but it should be good. And so yeah, that was it with Matt Cardona and what he had to say about Brian Myers. And so yeah, right after this, we had another backstage segment with Trey Miguel. And so this is what happened.
That's my bag now. I want your ass right now. Yeah, you want to kick my ass? That's what you're gonna do. Back up. Relax. You guys want to go? Great. April 10th. Hardcore Justice. The most extreme, the most violent match of all time. Exploding barbed wire ring match. Oh my God, it's gonna be huge. Yeah, that worked out great last time. Yeah, it did. It worked out well. Yeah. People love sparklers.
Oh man, that's a shot at AEW, man.
You alright? No. I want to fight. Okay, you want to fight? I want to fight tonight. I want to fight Acey Romero tonight. Alright, go talk to Scott. I want to talk to you about Hardcore Justice. April 10th, that's what I want to talk about. And I'm sorry about this and the joking. I'm just trying to diffuse the situation. You good? Dreamer, with all due respect, I don't give a damn about Hardcore Justice. Okay. What I do give a damn about is tonight getting my hands on Acey Romero. All right. I'm going to break his neck. Okay, cool. Relax. Let me just talk to you for 1 second. I've been down that path. I've let a guy get in my head and cost me more in my career. I could have had more titles. I could have a much bigger impact in my life. Don't go my route. it will set you back. Do you understand? You have all the tools, all the ability to be the champion. Don't go there. Don't let somebody else get in your head.
And that was it. That was it from, Trey Miguel. He got into it with Triple XL, and Larry D, and Acey Romero, and then Tommy Dreamer. He diffused the whole situation. So, yeah, he brought up Hardcore Justice, the pay-per-view and stuff like that. He's the booker of Hardcore Justice. And so, yeah. Last week I mentioned that, the Hardcore Justice pay-per-view shouldn't happen because it's too close to Rebellion. You want to build towards Rebellion because that's the most important pay-per-view, and that's what everybody talking about is that Rebellion pay-per-view with Kenny Omega and Rich Swann and all that stuff, and they want to add a pay-per-view in front of that. And so, yeah, I said that last week, but one thing I forgot to mention, I didn't even realize it then, but I realized it like right after I was done recording my video last week, was that, the Hardcore Justice pay-per-view is the same night as WrestleMania, night 1. And so I was like, wait, what? I was like, what? The same night as WrestleMania? I don't know why. I don't know why they would put Hardcore Justice on the same night as WrestleMania. That's just ridiculous to me. That's just dumb. Because a lot more people will watch WrestleMania over Hardcore Justice. They could have just, with this pay-per-view, they could have just put it, right after Rebellion. They should have just put it right after Rebellion. Because, dude, Rebellion is on the 24th, right? I think it's on the 24th. And you put this pay-per-view, you have a pay-per-view right in front of Rebellion. Hardcore Justice. I think 2 weeks away from Rebellion. Dude, why would they do that? I don't know, man. I don't know. But yeah, that was it with that. That's the thing that I forgot to mention last week. It being on the same night as WrestleMania. But yeah, could have definitely just saved this pay-per-view after Rebellion is over. And so yeah, that was it with that. And Trey Miguel and the Hardcore Justice stuff. And so yeah, right after this we had a match. It was Rohit Raju versus Fallah Bahh. And so yeah, this is good. And so yeah, first we had a belly-to-belly suplex to Raju. And then, Raju, he was using his speed against Raju. He was using his speed against Bahh. And then, at one point, my favorite part of the match, we had Raju, he had a Stone Cold Steve Austin elbow drop. So that was really cool. And then we had Fallah Bahh, he had a modified power slam to Raju. And then Fallah Bahh, he tried to go for the Banzai drop or the Banzai splash. And then Raju, he had moved out of the way. And then, yeah, we had a diving double foot stomp to Fallah Bahh. And then Fallah Bahh, he kicked out. And then we had a jumping knee to Fallah Bahh. And then at one point, they were reversing each other finishing moves and stuff like that. And then Raju, he had rolled up Fallah Bahh by grabbing the tights. So he rolled him up and grabbed the tights. And so Raju, he had won. So he cheated to win the match. And so, yeah, that was it with that. I'm a huge fan of Raju, man. He is really good, man. He's good on the microphone. He's good in that ring. Raju, I'm a huge fan of him, man, in Impact Wrestling. And so, yeah, that was it with that. And so, yeah, right after that, we had Kenny Omega. Well, first off, we had Gia Miller try to get a word with Kenny Omega. And so this is what happened.
I'm outside of the locker room of Kenny Omega, hoping to get a word from him about Rebellion. Hi, guys.
How'd you know I was here? What's going on?
I just wanted to know if I could get a word from you two about Rebellion.
Kenny and I are on our way to the ring right now, and we're going to say everything that needs to be said then, so you can tune in with everybody else.
It can't even work. Get out of here.
And that was it with that. And so right after that, we had a paid ad from AEW. And it was Tony Khan, the Forbidden Door, Tony Schiavone with Kenny Omega and Don Callis. Kenny Omega, the AEW World Champion, and Don Callis, and they were backstage. They were talking about, tomorrow's AEW Dynamite, the match card and stuff. Kenny Omega versus Matt Sydal. If Matt Sydal beat Kenny Omega, then Matt Sydal he'll get a AEW World Championship match. Not gonna happen. Nobody, and I mean nobody on this planet is beating Kenny Omega. Nobody. Not Rich Swann. Not Matt Sydal. Nobody. Nobody is beating Kenny Omega. So that match is pointless, man. And so yeah, they went over the card and stuff for tomorrow and stuff on Dynamite, and that was it with that. And so yeah, right after that we had the Good Brothers. They they were knocking on Kenny Omega's door, his locker room door, and they didn't realize that he was that he wasn't there. They thought that he was they were knocking on the door. They thought that he was there, but he really wasn't there. And so yeah, that was it with that. And so right after that, we had Kenny Omega. He came out to the ring, the AEW World Champion with Don Callis came out to the ring, and he had something he wanted to say. And so this is what the title belt collector had to say. Kenny by God Omega, the AEW World Champion. This is what he had to say.
I think you need more gold.
I need more.
I think.
Oh, hold on.
That when we get Kenny Omega, the greatest wrestler in the history of professional wrestling, bigger than Hackenschmidt, bigger than Gotch, bigger than Thez, bigger than Flair, bigger than Hogan, bigger than Moxley, bigger than
Keep going! Keep going!
Night, but we're gonna run out of airtime.
Bigger than Ibushi!
God, I love this. Bigger than Ibushi. And people say to me, are you letting the wolf in the hen house? What happens, oh my God, if Kenny Omega, the AEW World Champion, wins the Impact World title? I mean, Don, I have a piece of what goes on around here. I'm an executive here. Let me tell you something that I'm prepared to do. I'm going to tell all the fans of Impact Wrestling and the people who work here. What I'm prepared to do is anything it takes to ensure the legacy and the greatness of this man. I want competition. We want the best here. Rich Swann wants the best, and I am prepared to suck every drop of blood, every resource, every talent. I will suck it out of this company.
Suck him and chuck him, Don.
Suck him and chuck him. Oh my God, man. That's the first part of it.
Had my production staff put together a Academy Award-winning vignette of sorts.
Boy, I didn't know this was coming.
That is a tribute to the greatest finishing move in the history of the wrestling industry.
Rated number
in
one,
the
baby.
history of this sport. Let's all sit around, get the popcorn, and watch over and over and over again the one-winged angel of Kenny by God Omega.
Kenny by God Omega.
Cue it up.
So yeah, they play like a video montage of the One Wing Angel. They had the one when he hit on Sammy Guevara off that stage when they had that Stadium Stampede match with the Inner Circle. That was a cool one. They had one with John Moxley, hitting the One Wing Angel on a chair in that barbed wire death match, exploding barbed wire death match.
Let's get the long version. We'll have some people by the house. Maybe we can invite the Bucks. We'll come over and we will watch that video. What did you think? Do you think Rich Swann liked that, Kenny?
I don't
think
think he liked it one bit.
And so yeah, here we go.
Rich Swann, I'm not sure really what you've accomplished from your inception of pro wrestling until now. It doesn't matter. I don't remember any of it. But rest assured, Impact Wrestling, from the first day that I graced your promotion, it was the greatest day of your promotion's life. But for me, it was Tuesday. Nothing more, nothing less. And at the pay-per-view, when I had count 'em, two more belts to my collision, those fears that you had when I stepped through those doors, those fears of looking weak, of looking inferior, they're all going to come true. And it's just a God-given fact that everyone knew. You had no one that could compete with me. You had no one that could step up to me. You have no one that can beat me. And until I slip on a banana peel, until I come down with perhaps some deadly strain of virus, no one is prying those belts off of me unless I'm cold and in the ground. This day, Impact Wrestling, consider it one of your last days of grace. Because at the pay-per-view, I'm coming for your itch. And I don't care what it takes. I'm taking those titles with me. And it's all in the name of professional wrestling. This is more about you. This is more than Impact Wrestling. This is more than AEW. This is more than wrestling in America and Canada.
History!
This is history. So sit down, heat up a bag of popcorn, get your favorite soda pop, sit down with a bucket of ice cream melting in between those legs of yours, and watch the friggin' show and enjoy it.
Because at Rebellion, Kenny Omega and Don Callis will do what we have done ever since this started. The thing we've been planning for 27 years, we will make history!
Over and over and over and over!
And that was it. That was it from Kenny Omega, the AEW World Champion. And his quest on getting the Impact World Championship. Man, I love this segment, man. This is the best part of the show, man. Kenny Omega showing up. Just having Kenny Omega on the show, man, was the best part, man. Kenny Omega is the best, man. There is no way. I'm telling you, there is no way that nobody is beating Kenny Omega. Not Rich Swann. Nobody is beating Kenny Omega, man. That's why at Rebellion he will become the Impact World Champion, the Unified World Champion. He's gonna win. He's gonna have the Impact World Championship right here. He's gonna have the TNA World Heavyweight Championship right here on this shoulder. And he's gonna have the AEW World Championship wrapped around his waist. So it's only a matter of time. We all know it's gonna happen. Rich Swann is not becoming an AEW World Champion. It's not gonna happen. Not gonna happen. And so yeah, Kenny Omega is right. He's right. Just like what he said. You know, you're gonna have to kill him. You're gonna have to kill him to take the championship away from him. And so yeah, man, that was it from Kenny Omega, man. And so yeah, right after that we had Eric Young and Violent by Design. It was a vignette. And so this is what happened.
If I were a scientist and went into a lab to build the perfect fighter, this is what I would create. A warrior who is big, strong, explosive, had no remorse. Remorse is weakness. Remorse is a symptom of the disease. You've been here before. Do you remember?
In a prison. In a jail cell.
Will you help me? It's already begun. But I'm not a scientist. I didn't have to create this monster. He was born violent by design. It's in his DNA. I only had to awaken him. Show him the truth. So he can become the killer he once was.
And they talking about Rhino.
He was designed to be. When we had the sickness, we were intoxicated by the roar of the crowd, seduced by the stories our leaders told us. That's when I realized we were born slaves to their sick stories. And now we have the power to write our own.
We have the power.
We're going to conquer this world.
We will conquer it.
That's why I baptized you in the holy waters of change. This world doesn't belong to them.
It belongs to us.
Oh. And that was it. That was it from Violent by Design. And so yeah, so they baptized Rhino into Violent by Design. And so that was it, man. I love this group, man. The Violent by Design guys, that cult group, I'm digging it, man. I love it. Absolutely love it, man. You know, and they have a new member, man, Rhino. Rhino is a part of the group. Like, dude, when is the last time Rhino was in anything important? What? his ECW days. That's the only thing. That's the only important thing that he was ever in was his ECW days. Now, man, with him being in Violent by Design is what is gonna make him better. It's gonna make the group better. It's gonna make the group stronger. And you have Eric Young too. You have Eric Young, who's the leader, who's the mouthpiece, who's the cult leader. And I'm just glad, man. I'm seeing these guys getting opportunities that they never gotten in WWE. I'm glad I'm seeing them get an opportunity and a chance, man, to shine somewhere else. And so yeah, that was it with that. The Violent by Design and Eric Young. And so yeah, right after that we had Gia Miller. She interviewed Havok and Nevaeh. And so this is what happened in the interview.
Ladies, how are you two feeling after your win from last week?
I'm feeling great. We're doing well as a team. This is great.
Honestly, I'm still on a high from that, and I think that we could use this as motivation to maybe go after those tag titles again.
No. Fire and Flavor interrupts.
Raggedy and Tragedy, back at it again with the bull. Got our name in your mouth again. It must taste delicious.
Tastes like fire and flavor. It tastes like sauce. Sazona todo, hijo. Sofrito también. Qué rico.
Are you raggedy or tragedy? I don't know.
You
guys here to run your mouth again like usual?
Yeah, you're right. We are, because you continue to talk about us. And if you think you got what it takes, you think you got the momentum, you can step up to the plate again. Take that L on the chin, but it definitely won't be for the title still. You got to earn that.
So, with that being said,
I couldn't be.
Tenille Dashwood and Caleb interrupt.
I didn't mean to eavesdrop or anything. I just happened to be going for a stroll, and I heard the whole conversation.
I mean, you guys got lucky last week for when's the last time you won a match by yourselves?
Yeah, you've been pretty unsuccessful.
It's not going great for you.
I think I know why. It's because you haven't found the right partner yet. Yeah, I told you that I'm not interested.
That's awkward.
This is very embarrassing. I actually was not talking to you. I was talking to Nevaeh.
Different hairstyle, a little bit of a makeover. I think we can make this work.
This could be the winning team right here.
You know what? Let's get some team shots.
Let's see if this works. Excuse me.
A better fit? What is going on here?
Oh my gosh. Seriously.
And that was it from Havok and Nevaeh. And they want another opportunity at the tag team titles. No. You already had a shot at the tag team titles and you lost at No Surrender. So no more title shots for you. I don't know why they getting handed title shots. I don't know why we giving people title shots here. They don't deserve the title shots. Y'all lost already. Y'all had a shot at the tag team titles and y'all lost. And so yeah, they did book the match. It's gonna be a non-title match, a tag team match. Havok and Nevaeh versus Fire and Flavor. Now, something is gonna happen in that match. I think something will happen in the match because with Tenille Dashwood, week after week, weeks ago, she wants to tag team with one of them. She want to tag team with Havok, and now she want to say that she want to tag team with Nevaeh. So yeah, something might happen in this match. Either Nevaeh turn on Havok or Dashwood cost them the title match. I don't know what's gonna happen. But yeah, Havok and Nevaeh, they don't deserve no more title shots because they already had one and they lost. And so yeah, man, that was it with that. And so right after this, we had a match. It was Acey Romero with Larry D in his corner versus Trey Miguel. So yeah, I thought this was a really good match, man. Great showing from both of these guys, man. And so yeah, when Trey Miguel, one thing I gotta point out with Trey Miguel is that you know how you usually come out with the colorful ring gear. He came out in all dark, all black clothing. So yeah, I thought with this one, I think it had something to do with Sami Callihan, man. Sami Callihan is playing mind games with him, and so Miguel is trying to get more aggressive. He wants to get more aggressive, and so that's why he got the dark coloring, because usually the bad guys, they wear the dark clothing and stuff like that. So yeah, I don't know if that had anything to do with Sami Callihan, why Trey Miguel was wearing the dark coloring, the dark clothing. I don't know. But yeah, this is a great match, man, from these two. So yeah, we had drop kicks to Romero, and then Romero, he was still standing up, because Romero is a big dude. And so yeah, and then right after Miguel had hit drop kicks on Romero, Romero, he had planted this dude. He planted this dude with a Uranagi to Trey Miguel. And then yeah, Miguel, he had recovered. He had a tope suicida to Romero. And then Romero, he had a side slam to Miguel. And we had a crossbody to Miguel's back, which was painful. And so Miguel, he had kicked out. And then we had a diving neck breaker to Romero. And then, yeah, Miguel, he was fighting back with forearms. And then Romero, he was still standing up. And so we had an enziguri kick to Romero. He had kicked out of that. And then, yeah, my favorite part of the match, Trey Miguel, he was going for a high flying move. And then Acey Romero out of nowhere, man, he ran through this dude with a pounce. It looked like a truck. Like he ran over, like a truck running over something. That's what it looked like, man. And so, yeah. And yeah, then we had Miguel. He had a springboard cutter. And then he followed that up with a diving meteor to Romero to win the match. So Trey Miguel, he won the match. And that was it, man. This was a really good match. And so, yeah, right after the match, we had Larry D. He attacked Trey Miguel. And so, yeah, and then Acey Romero, he had joined in on the attack. So Triple XL, they double teaming, Miguel. And so Sami Callihan, he had pulled off his phone hack that, when the lights go off and stuff like that. So the lights had went out. And then Sami Callihan, he had showed up in the middle of the ring with a baseball bat. And so, yeah, he hit Larry D with the baseball bat, and he hit Acey Romero with the baseball bat. And so, I think, yeah, it was Larry D that had Sami Callihan. He had grabbed him. And so Trey Miguel, it looked like he wanted to super kick Sami Callihan, but he ended up super kicking one of the Triple XL guys. And so, yeah, so basically Sami Callihan, he had helped out Trey Miguel and fighting off Triple XL. And so, yeah, that was it. And so the commentary team, they were wondering, like, why is Sami Callihan helping out Trey Miguel after what, Sami Callihan had put Trey Miguel through, torturing him and stuff, going after his family and stuff, his students, attacking his loved ones and stuff like that. Like, why is he helping out Trey Miguel? And so, yeah, that's what the people were asking. That's what the commentators were asking and stuff. But, yeah, that was it with that. So, at that Hardcore Justice pay-per-view, I think it's going to be Sami Callihan. It's going to be Sami Callihan versus Trey Miguel. And I said that last week, man. Because Sami Callihan, he's that deathmatch wrestler. So that pay-per-view will fit well with Sami Callihan. And so, yeah, it might happen. It might happen. They haven't announced it yet, but it might happen. And so, yeah, right after that, we had an interview with, Gia Miller. She interviews Rich Swann, the unified world champion of Impact Wrestling. And so this is what Mr. Swann had to say.
Rich, how are you feeling after hearing what Don and Kenny had to say earlier tonight?
After hearing what Don and Kenny had to say tonight, you think a little bit of jive talk is really going to get in my mind and fluster it? Do you think showing a little highlight video of me taking the one-winged angel from several different positions is really going to have my mind flustered? You think those mind games really work? I don't think y'all really know me then. See, the thing is, I've had to battle adversity my whole entire life. Kenny, Don, broken legs, broken backs, fighting early retirement, just to get to this. Do you think a little bit of mind games is really gonna throw me off to the real focus of this? Being the top dog in this profession. Well, let me tell you something. If you go back to Hard to Kill, Kenny, I will give you your props. That one-winged angel, it put me out on my back, flat, 1, 2, 3. But when you take Karl Anderson and you take Doc Gallows, you take Saban, you take Moose out of the picture, every single time we step foot into that ring, I got the best of you in every situation. So it seems simple to me. What I gotta look out for is that one-wing angel.
Yeah.
And I got a couple of tricks up my sleeve to defend that. But my question for you is, what are you gonna do for every single situation that I was the better man, where I got the best of you? Oh, so you're a court baby. I just know a rebellion I'm ready of all night long.
And that was it. That was it from Rich Swann. And what he had to say about Kenny Omega, his response to Kenny Omega. And so, yeah, I admire Rich Swann, but dude, there is no way you're beating Kenny Omega. You are not beating Kenny Omega. You are not going to become the AEW World Champion. You're not beating Kenny Omega. I'm telling you, nobody on this planet is beating Kenny Omega. I don't care who you are. You are not beating Kenny Omega. Kenny Omega is, they call him the belt collector for a reason, man. Like, dude, he's gonna collect those titles. Gonna get the Impact World Championship. He's gonna get the TNA World Championship. And plus, he already got the AEW World Championship. So, what makes you think you have a iota of a chance against Omega? But yeah, oh yeah, one thing I forgot to mention though, in that Kenny Omega promo, you know, he talked about the one-wing angel and stuff like that. I think there is one person that did kicked out of the one-wing angel. Correct me if I'm wrong. I don't know. I think I might be wrong. It was either Okada or Ibushi, and he mentioned Ibushi in his promo. So can Kota Ibushi, will Kota Ibushi be the next contender for the AEW World Championship? I don't know. Maybe. I don't know. He's not in AEW, but he is in New Japan Pro Wrestling. So they got that forbidden door. They got that partnership with New Japan Pro Wrestling. So Kota Ibushi, he might show up in AEW Dynamite one day and challenge Kenny Omega for the World Championship. I don't know, man. Don't know. It could happen, man. It could happen. But yeah, if I'm not mistaken though, I think Kota Ibushi, I think he did kick out of the One Wing Angel when they were in New Japan Pro Wrestling. It was either him or Okada. It was one of them that kicked out of the One Wing Angel. But yeah, that was it with that. With Rich Swann. And so yeah, right after this, we had a interview. So Gia Miller, she interviews James Storm and Chris Sabin. And so yeah, this is what happened.
Please welcome my guests at this time, Chris Sabin and Cowboy James Storm. James, you have had 999 matches so far in Impact Wrestling. How do you plan on making that 1000th match so special?
Well, how do you think I'm going to make that special? By drinking beer, of course. You know, 999 matches, that's a lot of bumps on the bump card as we talk about. But I want to take this time real quick to address violent by design. You see, Eric Young, you and your henchmen, you want to run around and you want to keep numbers on your side. That's fine, because you're looking at the man that has done everything here in Impact Wrestling. 999 matches, I've done it and I've seen it all. So Eric Young, anytime, any place, because our history goes all the way back to the beginning. Next time you and I come face to face, believe me, I'm your Huckleberry.
Scott Demore.
Hey guys. Hey, I kind of overheard because you're a little loud and it's hard not to. But the fact is, hey, I'm standing here with two of the guys that are pillars that this place was built on. And we've all been thinking, how do we make the historic 1000 special? So I think you drove it home right there, Cowboy. You and EY, you go back to the very beginning. So next week, right here in the main event, 1000th match, it's time let's go back to our roots. And let's have the Cowboy and Eric Young one-on-one. Do what you do best. Congratulations.
Eric Young, sorry about your damn luck.
So yeah, that was it with James Storm. So it's gonna be James Storm versus EY, Eric Young, and that's next week. So yeah, that should be a good match. You know, two TNA OGs going at it in the main event next week. That should be good. And so yeah, for next week's show, we have, of course, we have James Storm versus Eric Young of Violent by Design. We have Fire and Flavor, that's Tasha Steelz and Kiara Hogan. They are the Impact Knockouts Tag Champions versus Havok and Nevaeh in a non-title match. We have Ace Austin, who's the X Division champion, and Madman Fulton versus Josh Alexander and TJP in a tag team match. And then Kenny Omega shows up next week again on Impact Wrestling. And so yeah, that's next week's card. And so yeah, right after this was the main event, and it was Karl Anderson with Doc Gallows in his corner versus Eddie Edwards. So yeah, this is another good match on this show, one of the best matches on this show. And so yeah, we had an overhead belly to belly suplex to Anderson. We had a tope suicida to both Gallows and Anderson from Edwards. And then Gallows, he distracted Edwards at one point. You know, Edwards, he was at the top rope, and then Gallows, he had distracted him. And so Anderson, he had knocked Edwards off the top rope, and so Edwards, he had landed right on that ring apron. And so yeah, and so the referee Brian Hebner, you know, he was arguing with Doc Gallows, and so Hebner, he had went under the ring and grabbed the chair, and he sat the chair down, and he told Gallows to sit in the chair like he was a child. He was talking to him like a child, like sit in this chair. And so Gallows had sat in the chair. And so yeah, and then, you know, Anderson, he was taking control of the match. We had a clothesline to Edwards, he had kicked out. And so Edwards, he was fighting back with chops and clotheslines and elbow strikes. And then we had a gore buster to Anderson. And then he followed that up with a backpack stunner. And then Anderson, he had kicked out. And then we had Edwards, he had hit a elbow strike, a rolling elbow strike. And he followed up with a blue thunder bomb. And then Anderson, he kicked out of it. And so, yeah, they were going back and forth with strikes. Both of these guys were. And so we had a running boot to Edwards. I believe it was I believe he called it the rocket kick or something like that. Karl Anderson does. He went for the rocket kick to Edwards, and Edwards, he had kicked out. And then we had a rolling elbow to Anderson. And then, you know, Gallows, he distracted Edwards again. And so Edwards had took out Gallows. And then right after that, we had Edwards. He had rolled up Anderson. And so, yeah, Anderson, he had kicked Edwards into Gallows. And so Gallows, he had hit Edwards with a chair right behind the referee back. So the referee didn't see it. And so, yeah. Gallows had hit Edwards with the chair behind the referee's back. And so Karl Anderson, he had hit the double A spine buster to Eddie Edwards to win the match. So Karl Anderson, he had won the match. And that was it. And so right after the match, we had Finjuice. They had showed up at the end of the match. And so they had something they wanted to say to Karl Anderson and the Good Brothers. I mean, Karl Anderson and Doc Gallows, the Good Brothers.
How much you guys just hate carrying your own bags. But I hope it's just a little bit easier now that they're about 10 pounds lighter.
But don't worry, boys, don't worry. You guys have your rematch. You have your rematch. But until then, Juice and I, we're going to go out. We're going to have a good time. We might even have a couple drinks just for you guys.
Just like old times. Come by.
And so, yeah, man, that was it with that. And so, yeah. So, Finjuice, they will be defending their titles. Right now, they're in Japan. So, with the Impact titles. So yeah, they're going to be defending their titles against the Good Brothers on Rebellion. And, yeah, so that was it with that. That was it with the show. You know, good show. You know, wasn't a perfect show. But it was a good show. We had some good matches on this show. And so, yeah. So, yeah, that's it with the review of Impact Wrestling for March 23rd, 2021. And if you like this video, man, hit the thumbs up. Hit the thumbs up. What are you waiting for? Hit the thumbs up. And if you're new here, hit that subscribe button. And right next to that subscribe button, there's a bell. Make sure you click on that bell so you'll be the first ones to know when my next video will come out, because I'm here each and every single week. So make sure you subscribe and you turn on that bell so you don't miss out. Follow me on Twitter at Ryan Awesome Show. And comment down below. Tell me how you felt about this episode of Impact Wrestling. And yeah, man, and share this video. Share this video with each and every single person that you come across. And once again, guys, oh yeah, if you missed my last week's review of Impact Wrestling, The video is going to be right up here in this corner right here. It's going to be right up here. And once again, guys, thank you for the support, the love, and the support for the show. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And I'll see you guys on Wednesday for AEW Dynamite. It's looking like a good show tomorrow. So I'll see you guys tomorrow. And yeah, man, stay safe, take care. And this has been the Ryan Awesome Show. And that's that.